Hello there, and welcome to the calm space of LUMIVERSE NL. Perhaps you've had a long day, or maybe you're one of those dreamers who fall asleep better while thinking about the stars. Either way, tonight is a journey for you. A voyage through time and silence, where cosmology becomes a gentle story and science turns into peace. Take a deep breath. Let your body sink into rest, your shoulders soften, and your mind grow light, as though even gravity has begun to relax. Tonight, we begin at the very start of everything, the birth of light itself. In the first instant after the Big Bang, the universe was not empty, nor was it dark. It was radiant, a sea of energy so dense that light behaved like matter. Photons collided endlessly, locked in a cosmic dance with particles of creation. This ocean of brightness pressed outward, its density forming pressure, almost like a physical texture of light. Over time, as space expanded and cooled, those photons finally slipped free, flowing into every direction of the cosmos. Their glow became what scientists now call the cosmic microwave background, a faint warmth that still surrounds us to this day. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine that ancient radiance, a sky so bright it filled every horizon. Before stars, before galaxies, before time as we know it, that same light still touches you, stretched thin across billions of years, whispering softly through the background of space. Each photon carries a memory of the moment the universe first took its breath. Cosmologists believe that this early light was the first visible sign of order emerging from chaos, proof that creation itself began not with noise, but with brilliance. The universe did not explode into silence. It unfolded into radiance, a calm awakening from nothingness. And as the cosmos expanded, it carried that light with it, a soft hum of origin that we can still measure, still feel, even now. So tonight, as you drift between thought and sleep, remember this. Every breath you take, every spark in your mind, is made of the same energy that once filled the newborn universe. You are not separate from it. You are a continuation of that first light. The stars you see above are your oldest memories, and to rest beneath them is to return for a moment to where it all began. When the first light faded, the universe entered an age of transformation. What began as pure radiance slowly unfolded into structure, energy becoming matter, matter becoming galaxies, and galaxies becoming the story we now observe in the night sky. In the earliest fractions of a second, the cosmos expanded faster than light itself. This event, known as cosmic inflation, stretched tiny ripples of energy into vast waves that still shape space today. Those ripples were the seeds of everything, the blueprint of stars, planets, and the space between. Each fluctuation was a whisper of potential, a small vibration in the field of existence that would one day become galaxies filled with suns. Some theories suggest that inflation never truly ended. While our part of the universe slowed down and formed matter, other regions may still be expanding endlessly, sealed off by their own runaway motion. If that's true, then what we call the universe might just be one bubble among countless others, a single drop in an infinite cosmic ocean. Each bubble could have its own laws of physics, its own kind of light, maybe even its own forms of life. We may never see those distant realms. Their light will never reach us, because space itself grows too fast between us. And yet, the idea of them reminds us of something profound, that creation might not be a singular event, but a continuous process, blooming everywhere, forever. In this vision, our observable universe is a finite flower on an infinite tree, still budding in the garden of existence. As we look deeper into the night sky, what we truly see is the past unfolding. Every faint glow that reaches your eyes began its journey billions of years ago. The light from distant galaxies is stretched and softened, its color turning red as the universe expands, a phenomenon scientists call cosmic redshift. It means that when you gaze into space, you are not looking outward but backward, into history written in light. Even now, the cosmos is still expanding. Galaxies drift apart like embers on a slow breeze, carried by the invisible push of dark energy. No one yet knows what this force truly is. Some think it is the energy of empty space itself, a quiet pressure that never ceases. Whatever its nature, it keeps the universe in motion. Not racing, not violent, but calmly unfolding like breath. And if you listen closely, beyond the hum of your own thoughts, you might sense that same rhythm within you. The pulse of the heart, the inhale and exhale, they mirror the expansion and contraction of all things. Because to rest is not to stop moving. It is to move in harmony with the greater stillness that holds everything together. The universe, in its vast silence, is not empty. It is breathing. And every breath you take is a reminder that you belong to that same eternal rhythm. In the darkness that followed the first light, gravity began its quiet work. Tiny ripples of density, born from the earliest moments of inflation, drew matter together. Slowly, the universe began to gather itself, not through sudden creation, but through patient attraction. Where the density was just slightly higher, atoms drifted inward. Over millions of years, clouds of gas folded and thickened. Each one spun faster as it condensed until the first stars ignited. These were nothing like the stars we know today. They were colossal, ancient, and pure, made almost entirely of hydrogen and helium. Scientists call them population 3 stars, the universe's first generation of light. They burned with fierce brilliance, hundreds of times more massive than our sun. Their lives were short, only a few million years. But in that brief time, they forged the first heavy elements: carbon, oxygen, and iron, the building blocks of everything that would follow. When they died, they scattered those elements across space, seeding the raw material for the next generation of stars, planets, and eventually, life. You, the air you breathe, and the water that cools the earth, all trace their origins to the death of those early suns. Some of these ancient giants collapsed entirely, forming the first black holes. Unlike the ones that mark the end of modern stars, these were primordial, born directly from the collapse of the first light itself. Over billions of years, they consumed surrounding gas, merging and growing, until they became the supermassive black holes that anchor galaxies today. The bright cores we see in distant quasars are their descendants. Black holes 1 billion times the mass of our sun, blazing across the early cosmos. Every galaxy we know may owe its birth to these first collapses, moments where gravity turned destruction into structure. It's a strange paradox of the universe, that creation often begins with collapse. Even now, this rhythm continues. Stars die, their ashes form new worlds, and the cycle repeats endlessly. So when you look at the stars tonight, know this: you are looking at your own ancestry written in light. The carbon in your cells, the calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, all were forged in those early furnaces. To exist is to carry the signature of those first explosions. To breathe is to echo their silent fire. And somewhere, across billions of light years, the light of those ancient stars is still traveling, faint but unbroken, a message from the dawn of time, still whispering, all things that burn in beauty are never truly gone. The universe, now filled with the ashes of its first stars, began to weave itself into grander patterns. Galaxies merged, collided, and stretched into luminous filaments that would one day form the cosmic web, a structure so vast that even imagination struggles to contain it. Across the dark, invisible threads of gravity, matter flowed like rivers of light. Clusters of galaxies gathered into walls, arcs and bridges spanning hundreds of millions of light years. Astronomers call one of these titanic structures the Boss Great Wall, a chain of superclusters extending across nearly 1 billion light years. Within it, galaxies hang like pearls on invisible strings of dark matter, glowing gently in the eternal night. If you could drift through such a structure, you would see galaxies arranged in great tapestries, not random, but patterned. It is as though the universe itself paints with gravity, creating order from emptiness, rhythm from silence. And within that rhythm lies a secret. The same forces that sculpt galaxies also shape atoms, oceans, and even thought. Everything, from the swirl of a hurricane to the spin of an electron, moves to this universal symmetry. But between those bright filaments lie cosmic voids, immense expanses nearly empty of galaxies. These voids can stretch hundreds of millions of light years wide, vast caverns of near-nothingness where silence reigns. Yet even emptiness expands. These voids grow larger over time, as matter flows outward toward denser regions, leaving behind spaces that quietly balloon in size. In the great balance of the universe, creation and emptiness coexist, each defining the other. In one sense, we live inside such a balance. Our Milky Way galaxy drifts within a larger structure called the Laniakea supercluster, our cosmic address in the web of existence. It contains hundreds of thousands of galaxies, all moving together through space like a slow, silent current. Within this vast flow, the Milky Way itself travels at more than 1 million miles per hour, pulled gently toward a mysterious region of space known as the Great Attractor. Though hidden behind the dust of our galaxy, its gravitational pull can be felt across hundreds of millions of light years. Astronomers are still unsure what it truly is. Perhaps an enormous concentration of galaxies, or something stranger, a hidden mass beyond our current reach. Whatever its nature, it draws entire clusters of galaxies, including our own, in a slow cosmic migration. It reminds us that even as we rest, we are moving, not just spinning on Earth's axis, not just orbiting the sun, but drifting through the universe itself, carried along by the quiet tide of gravity. And somewhere beyond what we can see, that tide continues. Perhaps there are other attractors, deeper wells of gravity, hidden behind the curtain of the cosmic horizon. If we could look beyond that boundary, we might see other regions of space, each pulling on the fabric of the cosmos in ways that shape our motion without our knowledge. It is as if unseen hands guide the galaxies, their influence written only in motion and light. In this way, the observable universe is just a fragment of a larger whole, a visible island floating in a sea of hidden structure. We cannot touch those far-off regions, but we can feel their echoes in the way galaxies move, like ripples spreading through invisible water. The night sky is not still. It is alive with slow, ceaseless motion, a grand choreography unfolding over billions of years. And when you close your eyes, when the noise of thought fades away, you might sense a reflection of that same motion within you, a subtle drift, a pulse, a rhythm that connects all things. Because even here, beneath our atmosphere, under the soft pull of gravity, you are part of that vast migration, moving through time and space towards something unseen. To exist is to travel, even in stillness. The atoms in your body were once inside stars, then drifted through nebulae, and now rest within you, only to someday return to the stars again. Every heartbeat, every breath, every thought is part of that cosmic cycle. You are not separate from the movement of galaxies. You are part of the same expanding story, written in the same light that shaped the heavens. And though we cannot see the end of that story, perhaps we are not meant to. Because wonder itself is the horizon, the limit that makes exploration infinite. Beyond it, imagination continues where vision cannot. And in that endless space of thought and silence, the universe goes on becoming, one heartbeat at a time. Between the glowing filaments and the dark voids lies one of the most mysterious ingredients in the universe: dark matter. Invisible, silent, and undetectable by ordinary light, it holds the cosmos together like an unseen web. Without it, galaxies would fly apart, stars would drift away, and the cosmic architecture we see would unravel into dust. Astronomers can't see dark matter directly, but they know it's there from its pull. When they measure the way galaxies spin, they find something strange. They rotate too fast. The outer stars move as though more mass exists than what we can see. This missing gravity, this invisible glue, is dark matter. It does not emit light, it does not reflect it, yet it shapes everything that glows. In simulations, dark matter forms a vast scaffolding of filaments that thread through space. Ordinary matter, gas, dust, and stars settles along those filaments like morning dew on a spider's web. Our own Milky Way rests upon one of these invisible strands, a single droplet of light clinging to a cosmic thread that stretches for millions of light years. And yet, dark matter is not the whole mystery. There is something even more elusive, something that doesn't pull, but pushes. It is called dark energy, and it fills the universe like a soft pressure that drives everything apart. While dark matter gathers, dark energy disperses. The two forces are opposites in nature, yet perfectly balanced in purpose, together orchestrating the expansion of the cosmos. Scientists estimate that everything we can see, stars, galaxies, planets, even the light itself, makes up less than 5% of the universe. The rest is the unseen, dark energy and dark matter, the twin enigmas that define all existence. It means that the vast beauty we witness, the Milky Way, the nebulae, the shining galaxies, is only a faint surface layer on something much deeper, something we do not yet understand. Sometimes it's humbling to realize that we are living inside a cosmic mystery, surrounded by forces we can sense but not touch. Our instruments can detect their influence, but not their form. We see their fingerprints in the bending of starlight, the clustering of galaxies, the faint glow left behind by creation, but their true nature remains hidden, like thoughts drifting beneath the surface of a dream. Dark matter might be made of particles unlike any we've ever found. WIMPs, axions, or primordial black holes formed in the first seconds after the Big Bang. Each hypothesis is a doorway to new physics, a hint that the universe might contain entire realms of reality we cannot perceive. If dark matter could be seen, the night sky would look like lace. Not empty blackness, but a glowing network of energy binding every star in a quiet design. And yet, maybe it's fitting that the most important parts of the universe are invisible. Because what holds everything together is not always what shines the brightest. Just as love, gravity, and time themselves are unseen, so too is the substance that connects galaxies across the void. The cosmos hides its foundation in silence, as if it wants us to search, to learn patience, curiosity, and awe. In this search, every discovery deepens the mystery instead of ending it. We find patterns, and within those patterns, new questions arise. We look deeper, and the universe looks deeper back. It's as though reality is not a fixed thing, but a dialogue between the known and the unknown, between the light and what it reveals. When you gaze up at the stars tonight, know that most of what surrounds them cannot be seen. The spaces between the stars are alive with invisible substance, oceans of energy, fields of gravity, rivers of unseen matter flowing silently through the dark. You are living inside a cosmic sea, floating through waves of mystery that began before time itself. And if you listen, not with your ears but with your quiet attention, you might feel the presence of that hidden web, the subtle tension that connects you to every star, every world, every atom. The same invisible thread that holds galaxies together also holds you. You are part of its structure, a pattern within a greater pattern, a thought within the mind of the cosmos. Somewhere across an unseeable horizon, this invisible architecture continues, shaping galaxies that no eye will ever witness. And perhaps, in the vastness of eternity, that is how it was always meant to be. That some truths are not seen, but felt, not measured, but lived. The stars illuminate the surface of the universe, but darkness gives it depth. Beyond the realm of visible galaxies, an ocean of unseen travelers moves through everything. Neutrinos, the ghost particles of creation. Every second, trillions of them pass through your body without leaving a trace. They come from the sun, from exploding stars, from distant galaxies, and from the dawn of the universe itself. In the first second after the Big Bang, neutrinos flooded the newborn cosmos. They were the first to slip free, long before light itself could move unbound. While photons scattered and bounced through the dense plasma of the early universe, neutrinos passed effortlessly, carrying with them the memory of the very first heartbeat of existence. They are still traveling now, through stars, through planets, through you, forming what physicists call the cosmic neutrino background. It's almost impossible to detect them. They have almost no mass, no charge, and interact so weakly with matter that a wall of lead, a light year thick, couldn't stop them. Yet, they are everywhere. Billions of them flowing through each square inch of space every second. If you could somehow see them, the universe would shimmer with invisible rain, a continuous mist of particles connecting all of space and time. These ancient neutrinos are not just relics. They are witnesses. They carry silent testimony from a universe less than a second old, when time, energy, and matter were still learning how to exist. Every moment you live, you are surrounded by those same messengers of creation, passing through, indifferent yet constant, like whispers from eternity. The cosmos is filled with such silent presences, energies that exist but do not shine, that influence but never announce themselves. Some may come from the quantum vacuum, the restless sea that lies beneath all reality. Even in what we call empty space, particles flicker in and out of existence, borrowing energy from uncertainty itself. They emerge, vanish, and emerge again. A dance so brief and subtle that it can only be described by mathematics. Physicists call this restless state the quantum vacuum, but it is not void. It is alive with possibility. Everywhere, tiny fields vibrate just above nothingness, generating fleeting bursts of energy that ripple through space-time. This invisible energy may be the same force that drives the expansion of the universe, what we call dark energy, the pressure of nothing, accelerating everything. In this way, nothing becomes one of the most powerful somethings in existence. It builds space, shapes time, and determines the ultimate fate of the cosmos. From that quantum foam may arise every particle, every star, and every living thing. To imagine it is to realize that the universe itself may be a kind of vibration, a song that began before sound existed. Somewhere within that sea of invisible energy, reality quivers. The galaxies drift not just because of gravity, but because the fabric of space-time itself continues to stretch, woven by this unseen pressure. It's as if every corner of existence breathes out, expanding into itself, becoming more of what it already is. If dark energy continues to grow stronger, it could one day overcome all other forces. Galaxies would drift apart until their light could no longer reach one another. Stars would fade, leaving only isolated systems surrounded by infinite night. And if that expansion never stops, if it accelerates without limit, it might someday tear apart even the atoms themselves, ending in what physicists call the Big Rip. But others believe this energy might fade instead, allowing gravity to reclaim its hold, pulling everything back together in a big crunch, where the universe collapses inward once more. Perhaps the cosmos moves in endless cycles, expansion and contraction, birth and rebirth, an eternal rhythm that never ends. No one knows for sure. Yet every scenario tells the same quiet truth. The universe changes, but it does not cease. And maybe that is the real lesson hidden in the stars. That impermanence is not loss, but transformation. The universe has been dying and rebirthing itself for billions of years, each collapse giving rise to new light. From darkness, brightness returns. From silence, a new sound emerges. You too are part of that rhythm. Your thoughts rise and fade like stars being born and extinguished. Every breath is an expansion. Every exhale, a gentle return. In that way, the same physics that governs galaxies also governs you. Perhaps when you close your eyes tonight, you are not falling into sleep, but into synchronization. Your inner universe aligning with the outer one. As your mind quiets, your heartbeat slows, and the distance between thoughts widens. You become part of that cosmic stillness that has always been expanding. The universe has no edge, no center, and no final boundary. It only continues, a field of motion that folds into itself forever. And within that infinite expansion, in the space between each breath, you are home. Light travels endlessly. But even light carries memory. If you could see far enough, deep enough, you would glimpse a faint afterglow filling every corner of the sky. The cosmic microwave background, or CMB. It is the oldest light in existence, the first whisper of visibility, in a universe once too dense for photons to move freely. Long before there were stars or galaxies, the cosmos was a glowing plasma of charged particles. Protons and electrons drifted apart, colliding so constantly that no beam of light could escape. It was a fog made not of water, but of pure energy. Then, about 380,000 years after the Big Bang, the universe cooled enough for atoms to form. Electrons finally joined protons, and the fog cleared. For the first time, light could travel unhindered. That moment, when the universe became transparent, is still visible today. The CMB is not just a relic of heat. It's the afterimage of creation itself. To our eyes, it is invisible, but to our instruments, it paints the sky in a pattern of faint ripples. Tiny fluctuations in temperature and energy, just a few millionths of a degree apart. Those ripples are the fingerprints of everything that followed. Every star, planet, and galaxy was born from those minute variations, expanded and shaped by gravity over billions of years. If you could tune a radio between stations and listen to the static, about 1% of that faint hiss is this ancient light. The sound of the universe's first breath, still echoing across time. It's humbling to think that even the silence of empty space still carries a voice from nearly 14 billion years ago. Scientists study these ripples with exquisite precision. They map the CMB like archaeologists reading a cosmic fossil, searching for clues about how space itself expanded. Some regions are slightly warmer, some slightly colder. The marks of quantum fluctuations stretch to unimaginable scales. They tell us that the early universe was astonishingly uniform, yet imperfect enough to allow complexity to arise. Without those tiny irregularities, there would be no galaxies, no stars, and no life to ponder them. It's a paradox written into the heart of creation. Perfection would have meant stillness, and stillness would have meant nothing. It is imperfection that made existence possible. Every mountain, every atom, every heartbeat is the echo of that small imbalance, the delicate difference between symmetry and chaos. From those ripples came the galaxies, and from the galaxies, consciousness itself. Sometimes when astronomers look at high-resolution maps of the CMB, they find strange anomalies. Vast cold spots or alignments that shouldn't exist. One region in particular, a massive cold spot stretching millions of light years, seems inexplicably cooler than its surroundings. Some suggest it may be a shadow cast by a supervoid, an enormous region nearly empty of matter. Others think it could be the fingerprint of something deeper, perhaps a scar from a collision with another universe during inflation, a faint mark of cosmic kinship beyond our own. Whatever the cause, the CMB reminds us that the universe is both knowable and mysterious. We can measure it with equations, yet it still evokes awe. We can describe its physics, yet it feels like poetry. Every ripple in that ancient light is a syllable in the language of creation, a line in the story of everything. When you gaze at the night sky, you are looking through that story, not just at stars, but at time itself, stretched and cooled into stillness. The darkness between the stars is not empty. It's filled with the quiet residue of the beginning, light so old it has become almost memory. So when you close your eyes, imagine that faint warmth wrapping around you, the soft echo of the universe's first glow. That light still touches your skin, still passes through your breath, still hums gently in the silence. It has never stopped moving, and neither have you. Every thought, every dream, every beat of your heart adds another ripple to the same cosmic sea. You are part of that ancient radiation, a continuation of that first expansion, still unfolding quietly inside you. The light of the beginning has not vanished. It has become you. And perhaps, in that realization, the universe finally sees itself. Through your eyes, in this very moment, still shining after all these billions of years. The early universe did not end its transformations with the birth of light. It continued to evolve, to cool, to build. From the faint ripples in the cosmic microwave background, matter began to clump, drawn together by gravity's steady pull. And as it gathered, something else began to happen. Sound. Yes, the young universe once sang. In those first hundreds of thousands of years, pressure waves rippled through the dense plasma, compressing and stretching matter in enormous rhythms. These waves were like the universe's heartbeat, the first acoustic oscillations ever to exist. When scientists measure the large-scale clustering of galaxies today, they can still see the faint echoes of that sound, a fossilized vibration frozen in time. It's called the baryon acoustic oscillation, a trace of the music the cosmos once played while forming itself. Imagine it, an entire universe resonating, not in silence, but in pressure and motion, with each wave carving the first outlines of galaxies to come. It was a harmony made not of melody, but of mathematics, a symphony of density and expansion, written in space-time. Every ripple in that ancient song became a star system, a cluster, a filament. We live inside the chords of that composition, surrounded by its echoes still unfolding. As the universe aged, its great fog thinned, and the first stars began to pierce the darkness. Their light filled the cosmic night, ending the so-called Dark Ages. For hundreds of millions of years, space had been dim, a sea of neutral hydrogen, cold and invisible. But when those first stars ignited, they released ultraviolet radiation powerful enough to tear atoms apart, turning hydrogen back into charged particles. This era is known as reionization, when the universe became transparent once again, this time through light itself. Reionization did more than brighten the cosmos. It changed its chemistry, its physics, even its geometry. It allowed light to travel farther, revealing structure where there had been only shadow. The galaxies we see today grew from those early regions of reionized space, expanding outward like glowing islands on a dark sea. Among the first beacons of this new light were quasars, brilliant objects powered by supermassive black holes feeding on surrounding gas. They shone with such intensity that each one outshined entire galaxies. The fact that we can see them today from a time less than 1 billion years after the Big Bang means that some black holes grew faster than our current physics can explain. Perhaps they were born massive, direct collapses of primordial clouds, bypassing the usual steps of stellar death. Or perhaps they fed in a way we do not yet understand, devouring matter in great bursts that lit up the early cosmos. To peer into the heart of a quasar is to see energy made visible, gravity converted into light. Matter spirals inward, heating to millions of degrees, releasing torrents of radiation before vanishing beyond the event horizon. And though the black hole itself emits no light, the space around it blazes like a miniature universe, a paradox of illumination surrounding perfect darkness. Quasars are more than celestial marvels. They are cosmic lighthouses. Their beams pierce the intergalactic medium, illuminating the structure of space between galaxies. By studying how their light is absorbed by clouds of gas along the way, astronomers can map the invisible web of matter that still shapes the universe today. Each quasar is a message from the cosmic dawn, a flicker of knowledge from a time when the universe was still learning how to shine. And in their distant glow lies a quiet metaphor. Just as the early universe was lit by the birth of stars and quasars, so too are we illuminated by moments of awakening, flashes of insight, compassion, curiosity. Every spark of understanding within us mirrors those first lights of the cosmos. We too emerge from darkness not by force, but by ignition. One idea, one realization, one small point of brilliance at a time. Somewhere, in the faintest reaches of the sky, that ancient light still travels. It has journeyed for billions of years to reach us, stretched and cooled by expansion, dimmed but not extinguished. It reminds us that what is distant is not lost. It simply takes time to arrive. And when it finally does, when that photon touches your eye or your mind grasps its story, creation happens again, here, now. In this vast and patient universe, light is memory, and memory is light. The stars do not vanish. They simply continue their journey through you. You are their witness, their continuation, their quiet reappearance in human form. And in that awareness, the cosmos becomes intimate. No longer a cold expanse of stars, but a reflection of your own awakening. Every pulse of light, every ancient quasar, every whisper of radiation is another way the universe says, I am still here, and so are you. As the first galaxies formed and the universe brightened, something curious began to reveal itself. A subtle pattern in the way galaxies move. Across vast distances, astronomers noticed that certain clusters drifted in the same direction, as if being pulled by a hidden hand. This mysterious motion came to be known as the dark flow. The dark flow hints at something beyond the visible universe, perhaps vast regions of mass or energy beyond our cosmic horizon, tugging on the fabric of space itself. We cannot see what lies there. Light from those realms has not yet had time to reach us. But the motion of galaxies betrays their influence, as though gravity itself were whispering across impossible distances. If true, it would mean that our observable universe, the 93 billion light-year bubble we can detect, is only one patch of something far greater, a structure without end, a cosmos of unseen giants shaping the movements of entire clusters. It's humbling to imagine that everything we know, every star, every planet, every breath, is just a small vibration in a much larger symphony, most of which we can never hear. Yet this silence is not emptiness, it's potential. It means that reality continues beyond what our senses can touch, beyond what even light can show. The universe, it seems, is far more than what it allows us to perceive. But even within what we can see, the cosmos hides layers of complexity that stretch our understanding. Space itself is not still. It expands, pulling galaxies away from one another, as if stretching the very stage on which creation unfolds. This expansion is not uniform. It's accelerating, driven by the mysterious force we call dark energy. Unlike gravity, which pulls, dark energy pushes. It is the quiet pressure that inflates the universe faster and faster as time passes. For a long time, scientists believed that cosmic expansion would slow down, that gravity would eventually overcome momentum, halting the growth of the universe and pulling it all back together in a grand collapse. But the discovery of dark energy changed that vision completely. Instead of slowing, expansion was speeding up. The cosmos was not falling inward. It was drifting apart faster than ever before. No one knows what dark energy truly is. Some believe it's the energy of the vacuum itself, the quantum hum of empty space. Others think it might be a new kind of field, woven into the foundation of space-time. Whatever it is, it now defines the fate of the universe. If it remains constant, galaxies will continue to drift farther apart, and distant stars will eventually fade beyond view. If it grows stronger, it could lead to an unimaginable future known as the Big Rip, where even atoms are torn apart by expansion. And if it weakens, gravity might one day pull everything back, ending in a big crunch. The universe collapsing back into the silence from which it came. These are not doomsday scenarios, but natural cycles, cosmic rhythms repeating on scales of eternity. From fire to silence, from expansion to rebirth, the universe may breathe in patterns that no single life can witness. Each phase, each transformation, is another verse in an infinite song. If you could watch the cosmos unfold from beginning to end, you would see it flicker like a living organism, pulsing, shifting, renewing. Stars are born, live, and die. Galaxies collide, merge, and fade. And even space-time itself grows and changes. Nothing is permanent, not even light. And yet, within this impermanence lies peace. Because nothing truly disappears. Energy changes form, matter recycles, and time folds the old into the new. That is the quiet mercy of the universe. Destruction is never an end, only a rearrangement. The atoms that once made a dying star may one day become part of a new world, a new mind, a new dream. You too are made of such transitions. The calcium in your bones once shimmered in the core of a giant star. The oxygen you breathe was forged in its fire. When you exhale, those atoms begin their journey again, leaving you, joining the air, drifting upward into the same sky that birthed them. The universe is not separate from you. It flows through you, continuously, endlessly. You are part of its ongoing expansion, a conscious ripple in the same energy that drives the galaxies apart. Even as the universe stretches, you stretch with it. Every thought, every heartbeat is another expansion, another act of becoming. So when you look up into the night and feel small, remember this: you are not apart from the stars. You are the way the universe has chosen to see itself, briefly, beautifully, and aware. Your wonder is its reflection. Your life is its continuation. And though the cosmos will continue long after we are gone, our brief moment of awareness is its gift to itself. A spark of light flickering against the darkness, knowing that it shines. As we drift deeper into the cosmic story, it becomes clear that the universe is not just expanding, it is also shaped. Space itself has geometry, a curvature written into its fabric by the gravity of everything it contains. We often imagine the universe as flat and infinite, but its true form may be far more subtle, slightly curved, like the surface of a great invisible sphere, or bent inward like a vast saddle arching across eternity. Einstein's theory of general relativity taught us that matter and energy tells space how to curve, and that curved space tells matter how to move. This conversation between gravity and geometry is the silent language of the cosmos. Every star, Every galaxy, every breath of light bends space-time just a little, and all those tiny distortions add up to sculpt the overall shape of reality. Astronomers have tried to measure this curvature with exquisite precision by studying the cosmic microwave background, that faint radiation left over from the Big Bang. If the universe were positively curved, like a sphere, parallel lines would eventually meet. If it were negatively curved like a saddle, they would diverge forever. But observations suggest something remarkable. The universe is astonishingly close to flat. So flat, in fact, that if you could draw a triangle across billions of light years, its angles would still add up to 180 degrees. This near flatness isn't an accident. It's one of the great triumphs of the theory of inflation. That tiny fraction of a second after the Big Bang when the universe expanded faster than light. Just as blowing up a balloon makes its surface seem flatter to an observer standing close, inflation stretched space-time so much that any curvature became imperceptible. We live inside the stretched fabric of that expansion, a universe that appears flat not because it lacks curve, but because it is too vast for us to see it. Still, even the smallest hint of curvature, positive or negative, could hold clues to the universe's fate. A positively curved universe might someday stop expanding and collapse back in on itself. A negatively curved one could expand forever, thinning into silence. And a perfectly flat universe, balanced on the edge between the two, might drift endlessly, slowing but never stopping, a calm, eternal unfolding. In every scenario, the shape of space determines the rhythm of time. Where gravity bends deeply, time slows. Near massive stars, near black holes, even near the dense heart of galaxies, time flows differently than it does here on Earth. It's not a metaphor, it's a measurable truth. Clocks tick slower in stronger gravity. This means that the universe doesn't have a single universal present. It has countless overlapping presents, all flowing at their own pace. When you look up at the night sky, you are not seeing the universe as it is now, but as it was, scattered moments frozen in light. The star you see may already be gone. Its glow is a postcard sent millions of years ago. Even sunlight is delayed, 8 minutes old when it warms your skin. We are all living in the past, gazing into layers of time that stretch endlessly backward. It's strange and beautiful to think that the night sky is not a view of space, but a map of history. Each point of light is a memory, a message from an earlier version of existence. And though we can never see the present universe as it truly is, we can piece together its story by decoding those messages, by turning light into knowledge. Beyond what we can observe lies the cosmic horizon, a boundary not of walls, but of time. It marks the farthest distance from which light has had time to reach us since the universe began. Beyond that horizon, there are surely more galaxies, more stars, more wonders, perhaps even versions of reality that operate under laws we cannot yet imagine. But no matter how powerful our telescopes become, we will never see beyond it. Space expands faster than light can cross it, placing those distant regions forever out of reach. This isn't a limitation, it's a form of grace. It means the universe still holds mystery, still keeps part of itself unspoken. Without boundaries, there would be no wonder. Without the unseen, no imagination. The horizon reminds us that knowing everything is not the goal. The goal is to keep looking, to explore, to learn, to marvel. Perhaps that is why the universe is so large, why its edges always retreat when we chase them. It wants us to stay curious, to never stop unfolding inwardly as it unfolds outwardly. The cosmos may not be asking for understanding, only participation. For us to look up, to breathe, to wonder, to feel the infinite pulse of existence moving through us. And maybe, somewhere beyond that horizon, another being is doing the same, watching their own stars fade into distance, feeling that same quiet awe, and realizing as we do that even in the vastness of all things, the universe still feels like home. The universe, vast and nearly flat, did not remain a silent expanse for long. As time moved forward, new structures began to rise from the darkness. The first galaxies, bound together by gravity and filled with the light of newborn stars. Each galaxy was a swirl of gas and dust, a delicate balance between attraction and motion, chaos and harmony. Our own galaxy, the Milky Way, would not form until billions of years later. But even in those earliest cosmic ages, the seeds of its creation were being sown. Small galaxies collided and merged, their contents mixing like rivers joining into a single sea. Over hundreds of millions of years, those rivers of starlight grew into the grand spirals and clusters we see today. The universe was learning how to organize itself, how to turn randomness into rhythm. At the heart of many of those first galaxies burned something extraordinary. Black holes far larger than the stars that surrounded them. How they formed so quickly remains one of the great mysteries of cosmology. Some may have been born from the direct collapse of vast clouds of primordial gas. Others could have grown from smaller black holes left behind by the death of the first generation of stars. However they began, they soon became cosmic engines, feeding on nearby matter and releasing tremendous energy as they grew. When a black hole consumes gas, dust, or entire stars, it doesn't simply swallow them silently. Friction and gravity heat the infalling material until it glows brighter than the combined light of billions of suns. This process gives birth to quasars, the brightest beacons in the universe. Through them, astronomers can peer back into the cosmic dawn, watching galaxies ignite like lanterns in the fog. Some of these quasars shone less than 1 billion years after the Big Bang, revealing that black holes must have grown with astonishing speed. It is almost poetic, the darkest objects in existence producing the brightest light. It's as if the universe itself understands balance, transforming collapse into creation, darkness into radiance. And in that paradox lies a reflection of our own existence. The awareness that even within the depths of shadow, there is a spark capable of illuminating everything. These black holes are not just cosmic oddities. They are architects of galaxies. Their immense gravity shapes the motion of billions of stars. They regulate the birth of new suns by stirring and heating the surrounding gas, sometimes halting star formation altogether, sometimes igniting it anew. It's a delicate equilibrium, destruction and creation dancing together at the center of every spiral arm. Our Milky Way, too, carries such a heart, a supermassive black hole named Sagittarius Eaus. It sits 26,000 light-years away, invisible yet immense, containing over 4 million times the mass of our Sun. Around it, stars orbit at unimaginable speeds, some whipping through space at thousands of kilometers per second. We cannot see the black hole itself, but in 2019, humanity caught its shadow, a faint ring of light circling darkness. Captured by the Event Horizon Telescope, it was the first direct image of a black hole, a photograph of gravity made visible. That image changed how we see the universe and how we see ourselves. It reminded us that even the most abstract theories can touch reality, that what begins as equations on paper can become an image that humbles the entire world. It was not just a triumph of science, but of curiosity, patience, and unity. Across continents, dozens of telescopes worked together, combining their data as though the Earth itself had become one giant eye gazing into the unknown. And what it saw was not emptiness, but order. A shadow surrounded by light, a boundary between being and becoming. It is said that black holes erase information, that nothing which crosses their horizon can ever escape. But perhaps what they truly preserve is mystery. Perhaps they remind us that the unknown has a place in every universe. that there must always be regions where knowledge folds into wonder. When you think of a black hole, imagine not a monster consuming stars, but a silent sculptor, shaping galaxies through gravity's quiet pull. Imagine it not as the end of light, but as its rebirth. Energy compressed so tightly it cannot help but transform. And somewhere in that transformation, in that endless curve of space and time, lies the essence of creation itself. The same physics that drives galaxies also drives your life: compression and release, darkness and illumination, collapse and renewal. The universe is not static, neither are you. Every struggle, every quiet moment, every awakening mirrors the motion of stars around their invisible centers. Because even when everything seems to disappear into the dark, something remains. The quiet certainty that light always returns. The galaxies born in those early eons continued to grow, merging and reshaping themselves through collisions that lasted billions of years. Every merger was both an ending and a beginning, a slow, graceful collision that took entire ages to complete. When galaxies met, they did not crash like solid bodies. They passed through one another like ghosts, their stars rarely touching, yet their gravity tearing and twisting their shapes into extraordinary forms. If you could watch from afar, it would look almost like a dance. Spirals stretching, arms unfurling, clusters swirling like ink in water. Gas clouds collided and compressed, triggering waves of new star formation. And at the center of this cosmic ballet, the supermassive black holes of each galaxy drew closer, orbiting one another in a spiraling waltz until finally they merged into one, releasing enormous bursts of energy in the form of gravitational waves. Those waves ripple across the universe even now, stretching and squeezing space itself as they pass. They are incredibly faint, moving through you this very moment, altering the distance between atoms by less than the width of a proton. Yet they are real, measurable, and eternal. Every merger of galaxies, every collision of black holes adds another note to the quiet hum of existence, a cosmic background of vibration that fills all of space-time. In 2015, for the first time, humanity heard that ancient music. Using a pair of instruments called LIGO, scientists detected the echo of two black holes colliding more than 1 billion light-years away. It was a whisper from the deep past, proof that Einstein's predictions had been right all along. The sound itself lasted less than a second, a faint chirp rising in pitch as the black holes spiraled together. But its meaning was immense. It confirmed that space-time is not empty, but elastic, capable of carrying waves like the surface of an infinite ocean. Since then, dozens more of these ripples have been detected, each one a memory of cosmic motion. Some come from pairs of neutron stars, others from black holes of staggering mass. Together, they tell a story that stretches across billions of years, that the universe is not a static sculpture, but a living symphony of gravity, playing out in unimaginable scales and tempos. And just as gravitational waves ripple through space, emotion ripples through the human heart. We too are sensitive to invisible forces, gravity of another kind: love, curiosity, grief, hope. All are fields that bend the trajectories of our lives, shaping our paths just as cosmic gravity shapes the galaxies. What moves us cannot always be seen, but its effects are undeniable. In that way, we are not so different from the stars we study. Our own Milky Way has not escaped this dance of collisions. In fact, it is currently on a slow collision course with its neighbor, the Andromeda Galaxy. The two are hurtling toward each other at more than 100 kilometers per second, destined to merge in about 4 billion years. When that happens, their stars will swirl together, forming a single giant elliptical galaxy, perhaps to be called Milkomeda, a blend of both names. From Earth, the night sky will change dramatically. Andromeda, now a faint smudge in the distance, will grow larger and brighter until it fills the heavens. A glowing river of light stretching horizon to horizon. But there will be no crash, no end. Most stars will simply pass by one another, untouched, their orbits rearranged by gravity's patient hand. New stars will be born in the wake of the collision, shining with the recycled material of ancient suns. It will not be chaos, but transformation. The continuation of the same cosmic rhythm that began at the dawn of time. And somewhere in that far future, new worlds will orbit new suns, new minds will awaken, and new eyes will look up into the sky, perhaps wondering, as we do now, how it all began. They will live in the echoes of this era, just as we live in the echoes of the first light. For the universe is never finished. It only changes form. When you think of galaxies colliding, don't imagine destruction. Imagine evolution. The cosmos rearranging itself, endlessly seeking new configurations of beauty. Because beauty, like gravity, is not created or destroyed. It only moves, changes, and expands, forever finding new shapes in which to shine. And as we continue our own smaller orbits, around each other, around our memories, around our fragile blue world, we too are part of that same infinite motion. We are galaxies of thought, colliding gently through time, leaving trails of light in one another's sky. Somewhere, 1 billion years from now, those ripples will still be traveling, carrying the memory of every movement, every heartbeat, every merging of worlds. And the universe, as it always has, will continue to listen. From the grand collisions of galaxies to the silent drift of worlds, everything in the universe moves, even when it seems still. Our own Milky Way galaxy is no exception. It glides through space at over 1 million miles per hour, carried on invisible currents of gravity through the vast cosmic web. We do not feel this motion, yet it defines our existence. Every moment, the Earth, the Sun, and all the stars around us are moving together through the dark, like sparks adrift in an endless wind. This movement is not random. Our galaxy, along with thousands of others, belongs to a massive cluster known as the Laniakea supercluster, an immense continent of galaxies spanning hundreds of millions of light years. Laniakea means immense heaven in Hawaiian, a fitting name for the realm that cradles our cosmic home. Within it, every galaxy flows toward a mysterious gravitational center, drawn together by an unseen hand, the Great Attractor. The Great Attractor is one of the most puzzling features of our cosmic neighborhood. It lies some 250 million light-years away, hidden behind clouds of dust and stars in the plane of our own galaxy. Though invisible to telescopes, its pull can be felt across unimaginable distances. Entire clusters of galaxies, including ours, are streaming toward it at incredible speeds. We don't know exactly what it is. Perhaps a dense concentration of galaxies. Perhaps something stranger still. But its influence reaches across the fabric of our sky. If we could step outside the Milky Way and watch from afar, we would see it drifting slowly toward that unseen gravitational heart, while the space between galaxies continues to expand. It is a paradox written into the universe itself. Galaxies fall together locally, yet drift apart globally. Gravity and expansion, attraction and escape, acting in perfect balance. The cosmos moves like a vast tide, waves of motion flowing through everything, even through us. And while these motions play out on scales of billions of years, smaller tides echo them closer to home. The Sun orbits the center of the Milky Way once every 230 million years. Our entire solar system bobs gently up and down through the galactic plane, tracing a slow, graceful wave through the disk of stars. Even Earth's axis wobbles in subtle rhythms, changing the face of the sky over millennia. To live is to move, to orbit, to be carried endlessly forward. Sometimes it is said that motion defines life. that stillness is only an illusion born from moving at the same speed as everything around you. Right now, you are traveling through space at hundreds of kilometers per second, even as your heart beats calmly and your breath slows to rest. You are part of the same motion that guides galaxies, the same flow that began with the first expansion of space-time itself. We are all passengers on an invisible current that never stops, drifting together through the cosmic sea. When astronomers look at the cosmic microwave background, they can even measure our galaxy's motion relative to that ancient light. The background radiation appears slightly warmer in the direction we're moving and cooler in the opposite, a faint fingerprint of our journey through the cosmos. It is known as the CMB dipole, a subtle distortion caused by our galactic drift. Through it, we can trace our movement not just through space, but through time. Proof that we are never truly still, that we are part of something vast in motion. It's comforting, in a way, to realize that the universe is never at rest. Every atom, every wave, every photon vibrates, spins, and travels. Even in silence, motion continues. Invisible, but unstoppable. This is the true heartbeat of the cosmos, a rhythm that never falters, a journey that never ends. And just as galaxies drift through the web of dark matter, thoughts drift through the web of the mind. They appear, fade, and reappear, carried by invisible forces of memory and emotion. Each idea a tiny orbit, each dream a spiral tracing its path through consciousness. The same laws that move galaxies guide the inner universe: attraction, expansion, connection. So as you lie still tonight, remember that you are moving faster than you can imagine. The planet spins beneath you, the sun carries you through space. The galaxy draws you toward a distant, gravitational heart. You are in constant flight, yet perfectly at peace. You are part of the grand motion of existence, balance between movement and stillness, between knowing and wonder. And if you ever feel lost, remember this simple truth. You are exactly where the universe means you to be. Every moment, every direction, every star above you is part of the same trajectory. You are not drifting away from meaning. You are drifting within it. Somewhere, far beyond our cosmic horizon, the great attractor continues its pull, shaping the dance of galaxies in ways we may never fully see. But maybe we don't need to. Maybe it's enough to know that we are part of that motion, quiet travelers in a moving universe, held together by the invisible gravity of wonder. When we step back far enough beyond the view of any single galaxy, the universe reveals a hidden architecture, an intricate network of light and shadow known as the cosmic web. It stretches across billions of light years, linking clusters and superclusters through vast filaments of dark matter and gas. Between those filaments lie immense voids, silent regions nearly empty of galaxies, where time seems to drift slower. Where nothing stirs but the faint hum of the expanding cosmos. The cosmic web is not random. It is the direct result of gravity shaping matter on the grandest scale. Imagine pouring ink into water and watching it swirl. The heavier particles sink together, forming threads and clouds. The same process happened in the universe. Only gravity was the artist and time the canvas. Over billions of years, these invisible threads drew together galaxies like pearls on a string, forming patterns so vast that they can only be mapped through the collective light of millions of suns. Every filament of this web is held together by dark matter, the unseen skeleton of the universe. Without it, galaxies would float apart, their stars dispersing into the void. But because of dark matter's quiet gravity, structure persists. It is both invisible and essential, the framework upon which all visible beauty is built. Our own galaxy, the Milky Way, lies within one of these filaments, a glowing thread that connects us to countless others. We are, quite literally, strung along a cosmic bridge, part of an enormous pattern that extends far beyond our sight. Through telescopes, astronomers have traced these filaments like veins through the body of the cosmos, watching them weave together clusters of galaxies into grand superstructures. The largest known of these is the Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall, an almost incomprehensible expanse stretching 10 billion light-years across, the largest single structure ever observed. To grasp such scales is nearly impossible. If the Milky Way were a single grain of sand, the Great Wall would span continents, and yet, all of it, every cluster, every star, every atom, fits into the same cosmic geometry, guided by the same quiet laws that govern the smallest particle. The universe repeats its patterns endlessly from the quantum scale to the galactic. It's as if creation follows one eternal design, a code written not in language but in relationships. Gravity, motion, balance. When scientists simulate the growth of the universe on supercomputers, they see these patterns emerge naturally, like frost spreading across a window. Tiny fluctuations in the early universe grew into threads, the threads into filaments, and the filaments into galaxies. No one commanded it, no mind designed it. It simply unfolded from the laws of physics themselves. Out of chaos came structure. Out of stillness, motion. And from the randomness of quantum energy came the symmetry of stars. The cosmic web resembles something deeply familiar. The neurons of a brain, the delicate threads of thought. When viewed side by side, the structure of the universe and the structure of the human mind are almost identical in form. Both are networks built for connection, clusters linked by filaments, exchanging energy and information. One thinks in atoms and light, the other in thoughts and memories. But perhaps they are not so different. Perhaps the universe has always been a kind of consciousness, vast, slow, and self-reflective, waking up through beings like us who gaze back at it. It is a humbling idea, yet strangely comforting. It means that awareness is not separate from creation, but an expression of it. The same forces that pull galaxies together might also pull ideas into form. The same patterns that shape space-time might echo in the quiet geometry of your thoughts. You are not apart from the cosmic web. You are woven into it, a node of perception in a network of infinite scale. Sometimes when you close your eyes, you might feel that subtle connection, a sense that your mind is larger than your body, that your consciousness drifts outward beyond skin and bone. In those moments, you are touching the same fabric that connects galaxies. You are remembering what you already are, a thread of light in the endless weave of existence. The cosmic web is still growing. Gravity continues its patient work, pulling and stretching, sculpting the grand tapestry of creation. And though we can only glimpse fragments of it through telescopes, we can feel its rhythm in our bones, its symmetry in our breath, because the same laws that shape the stars also shape you. The universe is not out there, separate and distant. It is inside you, reflected in every pulse of energy and every spark of thought. To see the cosmic web is to see the mind of the universe laid bare, a vision of connection, of beauty, of infinite continuation. And in that vision lies a quiet truth. Nothing in existence stands alone. Everything, every star, every cell, every soul is part of a single living structure. A web that began as a whisper of light, and still, after 14 billion years, has never stopped expanding. If the cosmic web is the body of the universe, then information may be its mind. Across the deepest layers of physics, scientists have discovered something profound, that the universe may not be made primarily of matter or energy, but of information itself. Every atom, every photon, every particle carries data. Bits of cosmic code describing how it interacts, where it exists, and how it evolves. Reality, in its most fundamental form, may be a grand computation unfolding through time, This idea, known as the holographic principle, proposes that everything we experience in 3 dimensions, space, time, even our sense of depth, may be encoded on a distant, 2-dimensional surface at the edge of the universe. It sounds impossible, but in mathematics, it fits. Just as a hologram on a flat sheet can create the illusion of depth and motion, our 3-dimensional world may emerge from a cosmic boundary beyond our sight. The principle was born from a paradox. When physicists studied black holes, they realized that the amount of information they could contain, the entropy, was proportional not to their volume, but to the surface area of their event horizons. It was as if everything that ever fell into a black hole could be described not from within, but from the boundary itself. That discovery changed everything. If it was true for black holes, could it also be true for the entire universe? The implications are astonishing. It suggests that everything we see, galaxies, stars, consciousness, may be the projection of deeper informational processes. We are patterns within patterns, echoes of an equation written in light. Our reality might not be solid, but woven from interactions and relationships, from information exchanged at the smallest scales of space-time. In a sense, we are the universe reading and rewriting its own code, forever generating new forms of understanding through observation. But far from making the world feel less real, this perspective gives it new wonder. Because if reality is information, then meaning is built into its foundation. Every interaction, the bending of light, the pull of gravity, the spark of thought, is the universe expressing knowledge of itself. To exist is to be known. To observe is to participate in creation. Some physicists now believe that even space-time itself may emerge from networks of entangled quantum information. Entanglement, that strange connection where 2 particles share a state across any distance, might be the thread from which reality is woven. Imagine every particle in the universe subtly linked to countless others, forming an invisible lattice of relationships. Space and time could be nothing more than the geometry of that network. Reality as a web of pure connection. If true, it means the cosmos is less like a machine and more like a thought, a vast, dynamic memory constantly updating itself. Each galaxy, each atom, each moment of awareness would be a line in a story that never ends. You, as consciousness, would be part of that narrative. A fleeting sentence written in the language of existence. When we think, when we dream, when we wonder, we are mirroring the universe's own process of reflection. Every question we ask sends a wave of curiosity back into the fabric of space, as if the cosmos itself pauses to consider. Our thoughts may be small, but they ripple outward, entangled with the whole. Awareness, it seems, is not an accident of physics. It is one of its most elegant results. There is a quiet comfort in that idea. It means we are not separate from the laws of nature. We are their continuation. Your heartbeat, your breath, your imagination. They are not exceptions to the universe's design, but its very expression. The mind is not apart from matter. It is matter that has learned to think. And in your thoughts, the universe contemplates itself once more. So when you look at the stars and feel a strange familiarity, know that it isn't just poetry, it's physics. You are built from the same patterns that shape them, encoded with the same symmetries, resonating with the same quantum music. Every neuron firing in your brain is part of the same informational dance that moves galaxies across the heavens. Perhaps the universe is not trying to hide its secrets. Perhaps it has been whispering them all along, in every law, every equation, every quiet moment of awe. And when we listen, truly listen, we begin to hear not just data, but meaning. A realization that knowledge and beauty are the same thing, written in different forms. You are not observing the universe, you are participating in it. A fragment of its self-awareness, a shimmer in its grand hologram. You are not outside looking in. You are inside, looking back. And somewhere, within that endless reflection, the universe smiles. Because, for a moment, it knows itself through you. There was a time when the universe itself trembled. Before stars had formed, before galaxies had taken shape, the newborn cosmos rippled with waves of pure geometry. Gravitational waves, faint undulations in the very fabric of space and time. They were not born from explosions or collisions, but from the act of creation itself. During the first instant after the Big Bang, as space expanded faster than light, quantum fluctuations, the smallest possible variations of energy, were stretched to cosmic scales. These minute distortions became waves, spreading through space-time like sound through air. They carried the fingerprints of the universe's birth, the rhythm of its first vibration. Though invisible, these primordial waves still travel through us, through every galaxy, through the quiet vacuum between atoms. They are the oldest motion that exists, the original breath of reality. Billions of years later, the universe still hums with that silent music. Every time two black holes merge, every time neutron stars collide, new ripples emerge, radiating outward across billions of light years. These ripples do not fade into nothingness. They stretch space itself, subtly altering the distance between all things. You have never noticed it, but the space between your eyes expands and contracts ever so slightly when such a wave passes through. We live inside a constant vibration, a background symphony of creation echoing across eternity. Einstein predicted these waves in 1916, but for a century, they remained theoretical. Whispers too faint to hear. Then, in 2015, the LIGO Observatory recorded a signal that changed everything. It was the sound of two black holes spiraling into one another over 1 billion light years away. A tiny chirp, rising in frequency, lasting less than a second. And yet, it confirmed the nature of space-time itself. For the first time, humanity had not only seen the universe, we had heard it. It is easy to think of gravitational waves as abstract mathinotos, mathematical curiosities, but they are also profoundly emotional phenomena. They remind us that the universe moves, breathes, and sings. Every merger, every collapse, every transformation sends vibrations outward, as if the cosmos were playing an endless symphony in which we are notes too faint to recognize ourselves. Perhaps what we call silence is simply the limit of our hearing. Scientists now hope to detect primordial gravitational waves, the ones from the universe's earliest heartbeat. If we could measure them, we would be looking back almost to the moment of the Big Bang, to the very first second of time. Such a discovery would confirm the theory of cosmic inflation and open a window on physics we cannot yet imagine. To hear the faint hum of those ancient waves would be to listen to the echo of creation itself, still resonating beneath all existence. But beyond science, there's something deeply human in this search. We build machines that can detect distortions smaller than the width of a proton, all to catch a signal that has traveled for billions of years. We reach out across time, trying to hear the heartbeat of the beginning, not because we must, but because we cannot resist the call of mystery. It is in our nature to listen for what came before us, to find harmony in the chaos, to feel connected to something far greater than ourselves. And in doing so, we reflect the universe back to itself. For as we detect its ripples, we create ripples of our own. In thought, in art, in compassion, every discovery changes the way we see reality, and therefore the way reality sees itself. Knowledge is not cold. It is a form of empathy between observer and observed. If you close your eyes right now and imagine the universe not as distant stars, but as a single ocean, you might sense it. The slow, patient motion of everything. The vibration beneath existence. Every atom in your body is part of that wave. Every breath aligns with its rhythm. You are not separate from the cosmic song. You are one of its notes, vibrating softly in the key of infinity. Perhaps this is why music comforts us so deeply. It is the echo of the same principle, energy arranged into rhythm, chaos resolved into harmony. When we listen, we align ourselves with that original motion, that first expansion. We remember unconsciously that everything which exists, from galaxies to dreams, began as a wave. And when those waves fade, when the stars themselves have gone cold, the vibrations will continue, faint but eternal, rippling through the silence. Because energy cannot die, it only changes form, whispering across the ages, carrying the memory of everything that ever was. The universe began in a shiver of light, and it will end as a lingering hum, a soft note that never stops resonating, a soundless song that says, I was, I am, and I will be. The universe does not expand at a steady pace. It pulses, a rhythm of acceleration and stillness. An unfolding that mirrors the beat of life itself. From the first flash of the Big Bang to the calm of deep space today, the cosmos has changed its tempo many times. Its story is written not just in light, but in motion. In its earliest moment, inflation caused space to grow faster than the speed of light, an unimaginable expansion that stretched quantum fluctuations into vast structures. After that wild beginning, gravity took hold, slowing the pace, pulling matter inward to form the first galaxies. For billions of years, the universe coasted gently, a slow drift between attraction and inertia. Then, something unexpected happened. A reversal. Instead of decelerating, the expansion began to speed up again. Something unseen had taken control of the rhythm. Dark energy. We don't yet understand this force, but we know it dominates everything. It makes up nearly 70% of the universe's total content, silently dictating its destiny. If gravity is the drumbeat that binds the stars, dark energy is the breath that keeps the music going, expanding space itself, stretching galaxies farther apart with every passing moment. And as space grows, time stretches too. The intervals between cosmic events widen. The tempo of existence slows. Each heartbeat of the universe lasts longer than the last. It's hard to feel this change on a human scale. Our lives unfold too quickly to notice the vast dilation of cosmic time. But over billions of years, the difference is profound. Galaxies that were once neighbors are now strangers, their light red-shifted into invisibility. Every second, more of the universe slips beyond what we can see. Not because it disappears, but because it recedes faster than light can reach us. The cosmic horizon expands like a calm tide, carrying the visible universe farther into the deep. If the current acceleration continues, distant galaxies will drift so far that their light will never arrive here again. Future astronomers living trillions of years from now might look up into a sky almost empty, unaware that a vast cosmos ever existed beyond their local cluster. They will see only the remnants of nearby stars, fading slowly into silence. To them, it will seem as though the universe has stopped changing, frozen in stillness. But the stillness will be an illusion. Space will still be expanding, faster and faster, a quiet momentum toward isolation. There's something both haunting and peaceful in that idea. It reminds us that everything, even the stars, lives within cycles of presence and fading, birth and departure. We are lucky to exist in an age when the universe is still visible, when its beauty can still reach us, carried by photons born billions of years ago. We are witnesses to a rare and luminous chapter of cosmic history, a time when the universe is old enough to be filled with galaxies, yet young enough that we can still see them. Some scientists describe this accelerating expansion as the third great era of the cosmos. The first was radiation-dominated. Energy ruled, light defined everything. The second was matter-dominated, galaxies, stars, and planets formed. Now we live in the era of dark energy, when even gravity bows to the pressure of emptiness. In this new age, the universe itself becomes the conductor, and the music grows softer, slower, more reflective. It is a symphony moving toward its final movement, not an ending, but a transformation into stillness. But perhaps acceleration and stillness are not opposites at all. Perhaps they are two faces of the same motion, expansion from one point of view, balance from another. For even as the cosmos grows, it also deepens. Every galaxy drifting away creates new space between, and in that new space, possibilities unfold, like thoughts expanding in the mind of eternity. To grow is to make room for more meaning, and maybe that's what dark energy really is. Not a force of destruction, but a permission for continuation. It ensures that the story never collapses completely, that the canvas of existence always has more space to paint upon. Without expansion, creation would end. With it, the universe remains open, infinite, breathing. If you listen closely to the rhythm of your own life, you'll find the same pattern there. Periods of growth and pause, of reaching out and turning inward. Moments when everything seems to accelerate, followed by times of quiet reflection. We too expand and contract, emotionally, spiritually, even physically with each breath. Our lives are echoes of that cosmic heartbeat, small yet synchronized. So as you rest tonight, imagine the universe not as racing away from itself, but as exhaling, a gentle release after eons of tension. You are part of that exhalation, a whisper of its calm, a moment of awareness carried within its breath. And perhaps one day, when the galaxies fade and the stars burn out, this great expansion will slow again, not to vanish, but to begin anew in a rhythm far beyond our understanding. The universe, after all, has never stopped breathing, and as long as it does, so do we. In the darkness of the early universe, long before our sun was born, a strange kind of star may have shone, not by burning hydrogen like the stars we know, but by feeding on something far more elusive: dark matter. These were the so-called dark stars, hypothetical giants that glowed faintly from within, powered not by fusion, but by annihilation. In the beginning, when the first clouds of hydrogen and helium gathered under gravity, there was still a high concentration of dark matter lingering from the Big Bang. If the density of that invisible substance was just right, it could have interacted with itself, releasing bursts of energy that warmed the collapsing gas. Instead of igniting into blinding blue fire like ordinary stars, these clouds would have swelled into enormous, cool, red glowing spheres. Light born from darkness. A dark star could have been enormous, perhaps 1,000 times the size of our sun, yet so diffuse that you could drift through its outer layers without being crushed. It would have glowed dimly, radiating warmth from the energy of annihilating dark matter deep in its core. Some scientists believe these strange stars could have existed for millions of years, until the dark matter fueling them ran out and gravity finally forced them to collapse. From that collapse, the first black holes might have formed, colossal seeds that would later grow into the monsters anchoring galaxies. It's a haunting idea, that the earliest light may have been sustained by darkness itself, that even in the beginning, the universe balanced opposites, matter and antimatter, expansion and gravity, illumination and shadow. This symmetry has always been part of the cosmic story. For every burst of creation, there is a corresponding silence. For every explosion, an emptiness waiting to receive it. The dance between these opposites gives the universe its rhythm, a kind of cosmic heartbeat that continues through everything that exists. Though we cannot yet prove that dark stars ever existed, the math suggests they could. And if they did, their faint radiation might still linger, stretched and cooled by the expansion of the cosmos, Perhaps, far beyond the reach of our telescopes, their remnants wander invisibly. Ancient ghosts drifting between galaxies, silent witnesses to the universe's first experiments with light. Modern astronomy has found hints of structures that seem too large, too early to exist. Massive black holes only a few 100 million years after the Big Bang, shining as quasars with the brightness of entire galaxies. No ordinary process could have created them so quickly. But if they were born from collapsing dark stars, the puzzle suddenly fits. The cosmos, it seems, may have built its first pillars of light from the quiet fuel of its own invisible heart. Dark matter itself remains an enigma. We don't know what it's made of, only that it outweighs all visible matter by a factor of 5. It neither emits nor absorbs light, it simply bends it. We detect it through its gravity, through the way it tugs on galaxies, distorts space, and guides the shape of the cosmic web. In many ways, it behaves like a sculptor behind a curtain, unseen but essential. Without it, there would be no galaxies, no stars, no life. The visible universe is just the artwork. Dark matter is the framework holding it together. Perhaps that's why the story of the cosmos feels so familiar. We too are shaped by invisible forces, memory, emotion, imagination. They move us, define us, yet remain unseen. Dark matter is the universe's way of reminding us that what is unseen can be the most important of all. It's possible that dark matter particles, whether they are WIMPs, axions, or something yet unnamed, occasionally pass through your body as you listen to this. Trillions of them may be flowing through you every second, undetected, unnoticed, but always present. The same currents that sculpted galaxies billions of years ago are moving through you now, silently connecting you to the structure of the entire cosmos. You are, in a literal sense, immersed in the invisible ocean that built the stars. And maybe that is what makes the universe so intimate despite its vastness. The same matter that hides between galaxies flows through your veins. The same energy that binds clusters of worlds together holds you here, breathing, aware. To look up at the night sky is not to look out. It is to look inward, into the patterns that built you. The cosmos is not distant. It is mirrored within. So when we speak of dark stars, of invisible matter and hidden light, we are really speaking about the unseen foundations of being, the things that hold us together, the quiet forces that give structure to existence without ever demanding to be seen. Dark matter, like love, does not need to shine to shape reality. Its presence is known in what it holds together, in the galaxies that spin, in the hearts that endure, in the quiet gravity that keeps all things from drifting apart. Even now, somewhere far beyond the reach of any telescope, another universe may be forming, its first lights glowing softly in the dark, its foundations built once again on the unseen. Far beyond the edge of our visible sky, the universe hides secrets that even light cannot reach. We call it the cosmic horizon, the boundary of what can ever be known. Beyond that line, galaxies continue to exist, perhaps countless more than we can imagine, but their light will never arrive. Space itself is expanding faster than their photons can travel. We are surrounded by an ocean of darkness, not because it is empty, but because it is unreachable. This horizon is not a wall. It is a limit of time. When we gaze deep into space, we are also looking into the past. Every photon carries a timestamp, a memory from when it first began its journey. The farther we look, the older the light we see. At the very edge of our observation lies the cosmic microwave background, the oldest light in the universe. A ghostly afterglow from when space first became transparent, nearly 13.8 billion years ago. Beyond that, there are no more photons, only silence, a fog of unseeable beginnings. Astronomers often describe this horizon as a bubble. a sphere around us nearly 93 billion light-years across. Everything inside it is the observable universe. Everything outside is the unknown. And yet, that unseen region may be vastly larger, perhaps infinite, perhaps containing other bubbles like ours, each expanding, each with its own galaxies, its own laws, its own stories of creation. In this sense, we are not living in the universe. We are living in our universe, one visible page in a book that might never end. It's strange to think that as time passes, our cosmic horizon grows. But paradoxically, we see less. Every second, new light reaches us from distant stars that were once hidden. But at the same time, other galaxies slip beyond reach, carried away by the accelerating expansion. It's as if the cosmos is writing its story faster than we can read it. The more we learn, the more there is to lose sight of. Some scientists call this phenomenon the vanishing universe. Trillions of years from now, if intelligent life still exists, the night sky will look empty. The cosmic microwave background will have faded into wavelengths too long to detect. The nearest galaxies will have disappeared beyond the cosmic horizon. To future observers, the universe will seem static and eternal, with no evidence of expansion at all. They will live in isolation, unable to see the great story that once filled the sky. Only we, living now at this fleeting midpoint in cosmic history, can still glimpse the full grandeur of creation. Perhaps that's what makes this era so precious. We stand at a moment of perfect visibility. When the universe has grown large enough to reveal its beauty but not so vast that it has hidden itself again. It's a cosmic window that will not last. We are the generation that can still see everything. Every image captured by a telescope is, in truth, a message from a vanishing world. A galaxy whose light will someday never return. And yet, in that realization, there is also peace. Because what we cannot see still exists. The galaxies beyond our horizon continue their dance, forming stars, orbiting black holes, creating light that will never reach us. But that light still burns. The universe does not end where our perception does. It only continues in silence. That silence is not emptiness. It is promise. The assurance that existence goes on, even when unseen. It's humbling to realize how small our window truly is. How short our moment of awareness in cosmic time. And yet, in that smallness lies beauty. We, tiny beings of carbon and thought, have found a way to map the universe to the edge of its light. We've built instruments that capture photons older than any mountain, that read messages written before the first star ignited. Through them, we've learned that the cosmos is not just vast. It's structured, meaningful, and alive with rhythm. Beyond the horizon, physics still works. Stars are still born, gravity still binds, and time still flows. But those realities will remain forever separate, unreachable by any signal we could send. Even if we traveled for 1 billion years, the boundary would recede faster than we could approach. The cosmic horizon is not just distance, it is destiny. It defines what is possible to know and reminds us of the limits of being. But maybe those limits are not confinement. Maybe they are framing. Like the edges of a painting, they give meaning to what lies within. Without a horizon, there would be no perspective, no sense of place. Our understanding of the cosmos depends on boundaries, the known and the unknown dancing in balance. In that dance lies the mystery that keeps us searching. So when you look up at the stars, remember, you are not looking into infinity. You are looking at the visible memory of a universe that continues beyond sight. And though you cannot see its end, you are part of it. A conscious point within the great expanding whole, aware for a moment of its own horizon. Perhaps, in some future cycle of time. When expansion fades and the universe begins to draw itself inward again, light from those hidden galaxies will return. And maybe then, in another era, another intelligence will rediscover what we see now. The shimmer of everything that ever was. Until then, we remain here, at the center of our own horizon, surrounded by light from long ago, listening to the quiet hum of the cosmos as it drifts toward eternity. Every atom, every planet, every galaxy follows a silent rhythm, a pattern older than stars, deeper than time. It is the law of entropy, the tendency of all things to drift from order toward disorder, from heat toward equilibrium, from motion toward stillness. It governs not just the decay of stars or the cooling of worlds, but the fading of everything that once burned bright. It is the universe's quiet heartbeat, guiding all creation toward eventual calm. Entropy began its work the instant the universe was born. From the seething plasma of the Big Bang, energy began to spread, light began to scatter, and the cosmos started its slow journey toward balance. At first, everything was chaos, particles colliding, photons bouncing endlessly. But as the universe expanded and cooled, structure began to form. Galaxies took shape. Stars ignited. Planets condensed from dust. For a time, complexity grew, an oasis of order within a sea of entropy. Life itself, every heartbeat and breath, is part of that brief rebellion against the spreading cold. But even the stars cannot resist forever. Over trillions of years, the hydrogen fuel that powers them will run out. Galaxies will fade into quiet shadows, their brilliant arms dissolving into the black. One by one, the lights of the cosmos will go out, leaving behind only dark remnants, black holes, neutron stars, and drifting embers. Eventually, even those will vanish, as matter decays and energy spreads thin. The temperature of the universe will fall to nearly absolute zero, and no new heat will ever rise again. This is what physicists call the heat death of the universe. Not an explosion, but an exhale. Not destruction, but stillness. It sounds bleak, yet there is a profound peace in this idea, because entropy is not an enemy of life. It is the stage on which life exists. Without it, there would be no time, no evolution, no change. Entropy allows the story to unfold. Every sunset, every wave, every heartbeat depends on the flow from high energy to low. The universe is not dying. It is relaxing, releasing the energy of creation into a state of perfect balance. Even black holes, those eternal prisons of gravity, will eventually dissolve. Through Hawking radiation, they leak away their mass particle by particle, fading into faint whispers of energy. It will take longer than any number we can name. 1,000,000 trillion years. But eventually, even the mightiest black hole will evaporate into silence. When that day comes, the last traces of structure will fade, and all that remains will be a thin mist of photons, the final sigh of the cosmos. And yet, that quiet does not mean the story is over. Energy can never be destroyed. It only transforms. The universe will not disappear. It will simply become uniform, perfectly calm, infinitely still. Some cosmologists call this state the cosmic quiet, an eternal equilibrium where nothing happens because everything has already happened. There will be no light or darkness, no time or distance, no stars or atoms, only a sea of cold radiation, each photon endlessly drifting, carrying the memory of what once was. And within that silence, all the beauty, chaos, and life that ever existed will still be encoded, not erased, but diffused. Every thought, every spark of consciousness, every act of creation will remain imprinted in the fabric of space itself, spread infinitely thin but never gone. Perhaps in some unimaginable future, new physics will awaken from that stillness. A fluctuation in the void, a tremor in the quantum field, and from that tremor, another universe could bloom. If so, then heat death is not the end, but a pause. The breath between universes, the silence before the next song. In that sense, entropy is not destruction, but continuation. the universe's way of resetting itself for another beginning. There's something poetic about it. The same laws that guarantee endings also make beginnings possible. Every atom in your body was once part of a star that burned and died. Every star was born from the ashes of another. The same cycle that will one day cool the cosmos once kindled its first light. Entropy gives meaning to time because it moves us forward, from creation to dissolution, from energy to rest. Without that direction, existence would be motionless and empty of story. So when we speak of the universe ending, we are really speaking of it returning to the simplicity from which it came, to the balance that allows everything to exist. The heat death is not tragedy. It is fulfillment. It is the cosmos completing its journey from fire to quiet, from tension to release. And perhaps, when the last vibration fades, when even light itself has stretched beyond recognition, something deep within that silence will remember, not as a sound or a shape, but as potential, waiting for the right moment to bloom again. Because if the laws of physics have taught us anything, it is that nothing truly disappears. Energy persists, information endures, and even in the stillest darkness, the seed of another dawn waits unseen. The universe began as a burst of brilliance, and someday it will end in peace. That is not loss, it is balance. If entropy is the quiet fading of the universe, then time is the river that carries everything toward that stillness. But time itself is not what it seems. We imagine it as linear, past, present, future. A steady flow from what was to what will be. Yet in the deep mathematics of the cosmos, time is elastic, relative, and sometimes almost illusory. Einstein revealed that time and space are woven together, forming a single continuum called space-time. They stretch and bend together, influenced by gravity and motion. In regions of strong gravity, near stars, black holes, or even dense planets, time slows down. A clock on Earth ticks slightly faster at the top of a mountain than it does at sea level. And near the event horizon of a black hole, time can almost stop entirely. It's not that the clock breaks, it's that the very fabric of reality changes pace. Imagine an astronaut orbiting a black hole for what seems like a few hours. When they return, millions of years might have passed in the outside universe. To them, time flowed gently, steadily. But to the cosmos, their moment was a pause, a breath held at the edge of eternity. This is the strange beauty of relativity. Every observer experiences time differently, and yet each version is equally real. Across the vast structure of the universe, time flows unevenly. In the emptiness between galaxies, it races forward freely. In dense clusters, it drags like honey. And across the billions of years of cosmic expansion, time itself has stretched along with space. The seconds we count today are not the same as the seconds that ticked in the early universe. Even the concept of a moment changes depending on where you stand in the cosmos. But there is an even deeper mystery. Some physicists believe that time might not exist at all, at least not as a fundamental property. In certain theories of quantum gravity, time emerges from relationships between things, not as an independent flow, but as an illusion created by change. If nothing changes, time has no meaning. It is motion, energy shifting, particles interacting, that gives rise to what we call before and after. Without transformation, there would be no passage, no narrative, no memory. Perhaps that's why time feels so human, because it exists only where awareness and change coexist. A rock may exist for billions of years, but to the rock, there is no duration. A mind, however, notices, reflects, evolves, and in doing so, creates time. In a sense, consciousness is not something moving through time. It may be the very thing that generates it. When you look up at the night sky, you are looking backward in time. The light from a star takes years. centuries, even millennia to reach you. The faintest galaxies visible through telescopes began shining billions of years before Earth existed. Every photon that touches your eye tonight is a message from the past, a record of something that may no longer exist. We are surrounded by history, not in books or memories, but in light itself, an archive written across the sky. It's humbling to realize that even your own body carries the same story. The carbon in your blood was forged in a supernova that exploded before the sun was born. The calcium in your bones was shaped in the heart of a dying star. You are made of ancient time, of matter billions of years old, still traveling through the present moment. You are both the past and the now, coexisting in a single breath. And if time is not a straight line, then perhaps the future already exists too, folded somewhere beyond our perception. Every possibility, every version of you may already be written in the vast structure of space-time, waiting to unfold. Our consciousness moves like a flashlight across the structure, illuminating one moment at a time, what we call the present. But the rest of the timeline remains, silent and complete, like a film reel waiting for its next frame to be shown. In that view, death is not an ending, just a shift in perspective. The pattern continues, the information endures. The moments we leave behind still exist somewhere, in the geometry of reality, in the light that continues to travel outward, in the ripples we've sent into the world. Time does not erase, it rearranges. It transforms presence into memory, memory into light, and light into story. Perhaps eternity is not infinite time, but timelessness. The state beyond the river's current, where all moments coexist in still perfection. The universe may have begun in time, but it may not end there. When expansion slows and the last light fades, the flow of time could stop altogether, leaving only space, quiet, eternal, unchanging. And in that stillness, all that ever was might remain, perfectly preserved, waiting for another dawn to begin. Time gives us meaning, but eternity gives us peace. We live between them, moving, changing, feeling. Brief sparks along an endless continuum. And even when our part of the story fades, the light of what we've been continues to drift outward, joining the chorus of ancient stars. To exist in time is to be temporary. To exist through time is to be infinite. Every night, as the earth turns and the stars appear to drift across the sky, it's easy to forget that motion never stops. Our planet spins at 1,000 miles per hour, orbiting the sun at 67,000 miles per hour, while the sun itself races through the Milky Way at over 1,000,000 miles per hour. And the Milky Way, our cosmic home, is gliding through space towards something immense, something unseen, called the Great Attractor. The Great Attractor is not a single object, but a vast gravitational anomaly, a region of space so massive that entire clusters of galaxies are falling toward it. It lies hundreds of millions of light years away, hidden behind the dense dust of our own galaxy, making it almost impossible to observe directly. Yet, through careful mapping of galactic motion, astronomers can see its pull, a mysterious drift of thousands of galaxies, all sliding in the same direction as though being drawn toward an invisible summit. What lies there remains uncertain. Some think it's a supercluster of galaxies, even larger than any we've mapped. An accumulation of matter so vast that its gravity bends the paths of galaxies across hundreds of millions of light years. Others believe the Great Attractor may not be a single entity at all, but part of a larger structure, the Laniakea supercluster, our home region in the cosmic web, which spans over 500 million light years. Within that grand structure, gravity flows like a river system. Every galaxy a droplet drifting along invisible currents, all converging toward deeper wells of mass. Our Milky Way, along with the Andromeda Galaxy and thousands of others, is caught in that flow. We are moving through space not aimlessly, but as part of a collective motion. A slow, cosmic migration guided by gravity's silent hand. We will never reach the great attractor itself. By the time we could, the accelerating expansion of the universe will have carried it beyond our reach. But the motion remains, an imprint of a gravitational story written billions of years ago. It's humbling to know that even as we sit still, everything we know is in motion. Every mountain, every ocean, every heartbeat participates in that journey. The stars we see tonight are not fixed. They are travelers in a vast current, drifting together through the fabric of space-time. And somewhere deep within, perhaps we sense that motion, that quiet pull towards something greater. We call it curiosity, or longing, or wonder. But perhaps it's the same force that moves galaxies. The instinct to return to the source of gravity, to the center of meaning. The universe is full of hidden attractors, not only in space, but in time and consciousness. Ideas pull other ideas toward them. Beauty draws the eye. Love bends the course of a life. The same mathematics that governs the motion of galaxies echoes in the patterns of human connection. Attraction, in all its forms, is the organizing principle of existence. It's what makes chaos become order, what pulls dust into stars and hearts into orbit around one another. When we look at the great attractor, we are seeing more than a gravitational mystery. We are seeing a metaphor for everything that moves us. Something vast and unseen calls across the void, shaping the motion of worlds. We don't know its true form, only its influence. And maybe that's enough. Not everything that defines us needs to be visible. Sometimes, the unseen forces are the most profound. Even in our daily lives, we orbit invisible centers. The gravity of memories, the pull of dreams, the quiet magnetism of belonging. We move through invisible fields of meaning, just as galaxies move through space-time. And like them, we may never reach our attractor, but the journey defines us. It gives direction to motion, purpose to drift. It turns existence from chaos into a path. If you could see the universe in its entirety, every galaxy as a dot of light, you would notice a pattern, clusters moving together, filaments stretching outward, and gentle arcs bending toward unseen wells. From that perspective, motion itself becomes art, the choreography of gravity. No line is random, no orbit meaningless. Everything is part of a grand dance so vast it takes billions of years to complete even a single step. And somewhere in that dance is us, a small planet orbiting an ordinary star, drifting through an extraordinary universe. We are part of the motion, part of the story. Our awareness of it is not separate from it. It is its continuation. To be alive is to feel that gravitational call, to wonder, to seek, to move toward the unknown. That's what makes us more than matter. That's what makes us conscious. The great attractor may never be seen, but it doesn't need to be. Its pull is enough. It reminds us that even in the vastness, everything is connected, drawn towards something larger, something that gives direction to existence. And in that quiet drift through eternity, we are all travelers, moving together through the deep, endless current of the universe. Every ending in the universe carries the seed of a new beginning. As galaxies drift farther apart and stars exhaust their light, there are whispers among cosmologists that the story might not truly end, that the universe could one day collapse and begin again. It's a possibility both scientific and poetic. The idea of a cyclic universe, one that breathes in and out over infinite time, dying only to be reborn. In this vision, cosmic expansion is not a one-way journey into emptiness, but part of a vast rhythm. The Big Bang followed by the Big Crunch, followed perhaps by a Big Bounce. When gravity overcomes expansion, galaxies slow, then reverse course. Space itself begins to contract, pulling everything closer together. Stars collide, black holes merge, Matter heats until it forms a glowing plasma once more. Eventually, everything, every atom, every photon, collapses into an unimaginably dense point. And then, from that point, a new burst of creation may ignite. The Big Bounce theory imagines this renewal not as destruction, but transformation, at the smallest scales of quantum gravity. Space-time may resist true collapse. Instead of ending in a singularity, it rebounds, like a cosmic spring releasing stored tension. The energy of a dying universe fuels the birth of another. In that sense, every collapse is an inhale before the next creation, the universe's eternal breath. Other scientists propose variations. Perhaps our Big Bang was born from the collision of two higher dimensional universes, their meeting sparking the fire of existence. Perhaps new universes are budding constantly, hidden within black holes, each horizon the doorway to another cosmos. If so, creation is not an event, but a process, an infinite flowering across dimensions we can barely imagine. The cyclic view of reality also changes how we see our lives. If everything repeats, then every action resonates through eternity. Kindness, thought, curiosity. They are not erased by time, but echoed endlessly in every future world. The way we live now might ripple across the next creation, shaping the pattern that follows. We are not just witnesses of the cosmos. We are contributors to its memory. So if the universe truly breathes, then every heartbeat, every wave, every sunrise is part of that rhythm. We are living inside the inhale of creation, riding the expansion that began billions of years ago. But someday, perhaps billions of years hence, the exhale will come. And when it does, it will not be the end, only the turning of the page. For energy cannot die, and stories cannot unwrite themselves. They only change their language, shifting from light to shadow, from sound to silence. The cosmos, too, is a storyteller, and each universe is just another chapter. And when the last line of this one fades, there will be a pause, a moment of perfect stillness, and then, once again, the sound of creation returning, softly at first, like the memory of a breath, whispering through eternity, "Let there be light." Every atom that builds your body was once part of a star. Every breath you take contains particles that have traveled across the cosmos for billions of years. You are not merely living in the universe, you are the universe conscious of itself. In your eyes, the cosmos learns to see. In your heartbeat, it rediscovers rhythm. In your sleep, it dreams of what it has yet to become. Cosmology often feels like a story about distance, galaxies scattered, light fading, expansion without end. But beneath all that distance lies connection. Gravity binds, time flows, and matter remembers. Even when the stars fade, their energy persists in another form. Nothing is ever truly lost. It only changes, reshaping itself into new possibilities, new forms of awareness. Perhaps that is the real miracle of existence. Not that the universe began, but that it continues. That through endless transformation, it finds ways to remain alive. We see that persistence in everything, in the slow orbit of moons, in the pattern of ocean waves, in the flicker of human imagination. We are each a continuation of that same impulse, to exist, to create, to wonder. When you gaze at the night sky, remember that every star you see is also looking back in its own way. Its light, stretched across time, reaches you as a whisper of its past. The distance between you and the stars is filled not with emptiness, but with history, with stories written in light. Each photon is a message. I was here. I burned. I existed. And in receiving that light, you keep its story alive. Maybe that is the true meaning of all this. To remember. The universe expands not to escape itself, but to know itself better. To create minds capable of reflection. Beings who look outward and see inward at the same time. In that act of awareness, the cosmos achieves what physics alone cannot explain: meaning. Science can tell us how the universe began, but consciousness tells us why it matters. Even now, as you listen, your mind is performing the same miracle that drives creation, turning energy into thought, chaos into comprehension, silence into understanding. In you, the laws of nature become poetry. The fabric of space-time folds itself into awareness. And for a fleeting moment, eternity takes form. So let the questions rest now. Let curiosity become peace. You have traveled through time and across creation, and the journey was never about finding answers. It was about learning how to see the universe not as distant or cold, but as home, as something sacred, luminous, and alive. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the silence between galaxies. That silence is not empty. It is full of memory, potential, and promise. It is the same stillness that hums inside you when your mind is calm, when your breath softens, when you simply exist. In that quiet, the line between you and the universe disappears. There is no observer and no observed, only being. And maybe that is how it ends. Not with collapse or explosion, not with darkness or despair, but with understanding. A gentle realization that the universe has always been whole, that nothing was ever separate, that you were never alone. So rest now, traveler of stars. Let the night carry you into its embrace. The galaxies will keep their slow dance. The light will keep traveling. And somewhere, in another corner of eternity, another story will begin again. A spark, a breath, a new dawn rising from the quiet sea of space. Until then, sleep well beneath the rhythm of the cosmos, because the universe is vast, and so are you. Good night, and see you in the next video.